Morning rays, years and praised into the west, the west, honest. There wasn't a dream, Bell society, unity. Corn acne, spinning up in town, flow through home, trapped by the power of the dream. The power is yet unknown. Morning rays, years and praised into the west, honest. There wasn't a dream, Bell society, unity. Corn acne, spinning up in town, flow through home, trapped by the power of the dream. The power is yet unknown.
The tale you are about to experience depicts a world entirely separate from that of the main story. Another day. This is it. Long last. Today's the day. It's Shibuyapalooza, the biggest and best musical festival Shibuya has to offer. Bands and artists from all over the world are set to perform right in front of 10-4. Can't believe this is finally happening. Waited so long. Years, it seems. The wait is over. This might just be the best day of my entire life. No, there's no might about it. This is totally the best day ever.
Hey.
Rindo? I know you're excited and all, but you're getting a little carried away. Oh, what? Your internal monologue was not as internal as it intended. Whoopsie. So excited. How am I supposed to keep all this inside? I mean, I get it though. We have been awaiting Shibuyapalooza for many moons. Yeah, I just lost control for a second there. Anyway, you know what the best part of today is? Of course you do. Everybody does. Death March is back after 10 years? Wait, is that the band from the last game? Or maybe not. I don't know what this is. Oh my god, I am so pumped. Death March is legendary. To think I'd be able to see them live. Somebody pinch me. Right? Never thought it'd happen in a billion years. Especially since they all seem happy doing their own thing as solo artists. It has been 10 whole years. The mere thought of Lord Ishimoto stroking his guitar before my very eyes. Whoa, okay, I know this is not supposed to be suggestive, but this sounds very suggestive. Wow, you really like him, don't you, Nagi? Naturally. I'll have you know I followed his entire music career pre-debut to solo. You know, you told us plenty of times already.
Hey!
Yo, Rindo. There you are, dog. I'd shout, beat him right here. I ain't shouting at you. I'm shouting at Shibuyapalooza.
Hey.
Hey, Rindo. Hi, Neku. Two come together? Yeah. But I almost wish I didn't. Beat refused to calm down or act normal. Didn't get a wink of sleep last night. Couldn't concentrate. This is the maniac energy of a sleep-deprived madman. Can you blame him? Shibuyapalooza is finally here after getting pushed back a bunch because of, well, everything. We've been waiting forever, yo.
Huh?
Yeah, and we'll have to wait a little longer until Fred gets here. Wonder what's keeping him. Oh well, he'll probably show up any second now. Maybe he couldn't sleep either. Or he's so excited he forgot to be on time. It wouldn't surprise me. But you gotta hand it to him for getting us tickets. Those lotteries are brutal. And somehow he managed to get the very first tickets then sent out. He's either incredibly lucky or incredibly dedicated. Either way, we owe him big time. And much is undeniable. Speak of the devil. Hey guys. Hey. You okay? You seem kinda down. I do? Of course I do.
Huh?
What's up? Couldn't sleep? Listen, guys, I'm really sorry about this. Sorry for what? What'd you do? You lose our tickets or something?
What?
Oh no. Inconceivable. Not even he would be so careless as to misplace our precious tickets. Yeah, he's not that dumb. Anyway, what is it you... Fred? No. Fred? No. Don't tell me. Nah. Nah. What the fuck, Fred? I lost the tickets. They're gone forever. What? Please tell me this is a joke. I think I'm gonna faint. That's it? It's all over. No, this can't be. I'm so sorry. I don't even know how it happened. I thought I was just throwing out the receipt, but yo, are you real for this? You fool! This is why you always acquire your tickets digitally. Without those tickets, we can't get into the show. All our hopes and dreams shattered. This is the worst day of my entire life. I'm sorry. Lord Ishimoto, may you find it in your heart to forgive your wretched follower for failing to witness your glorious return. So sorry. Alright, that's enough. Fred doesn't need everyone piling on him right now. Everyone makes mistakes, give him a break. Probably more disappointed in himself than any of us are in him. Which is saying a lot. I plan my house somewhere around this. Neko is hurting inside. Well, we may not be able to see the show, but we can still hang around the grounds. True, just breathing in the Shibuyapalooza air could be fun. Maybe. Could be some food trucks around too. Perhaps we will be so lucky as to hear the echoing tones of a guitar in the distance. It's better than nothing. Attend for it is. Attend Shibuyapalooza. Alright, so this is another day. It's basically an extra day that takes place separate from the entire story we know so far. I don't know if it's similar to Another Day in the final remix, because that game pretty much just like had added story content and hid it in a second game. I think this is just for funsies. I think. Again, this is my first time playing this day. I have no idea what's going on. Like, are we still in the Reapers game? Wants to go to Reapers Romp. Good, clean fun for everyone. What do you say? Ah, much appreciated. What's this? Could it be?
Pardon?
Good news, everyone. Feast your eyes. What is it? It's a flyer for some kind of event. Reapers Romp. Precisely, as it is written here. A prize will be awarded to all participants who complete said romp. And that prize is taken to Shibuyapalooza. Huh, that's oddly convenient. What? Whoa. The day is saved. There's no way we're not doing this. It's awfully convenient, right? So what kind of game is it? We shan't know until we visit the registration desk. Well, let's go. This is our only shot at musical bliss. We've got no other way into the festival. Whose fault is that? It's our last hope. Have to go for it. Wait for us, Shibuyapalooza. Registration is at Hachiko, it seems. That's a weird place to register, but whatever. Let's go.
Let's move.
Hey, it's Ishima. Excuse me, is this where we sign up for the Reapers Romp? Sure is. This your whole group? Perfect. If you could just line up right over here for me, that'd be fantastic. I am not used to you being so cheerful. This is weird. I know this is another timeline, but this is so weird. Super. Now that you're all ready, here's the rundown of the Reapers Romp. We've set up 3 checkpoints in 3 different places throughout Shibuya, specifically at the West Exit Bus Terminal, Miyashita Park, and Tokyo Plaza. All you have to do is take this card and get it stamped at each checkpoint. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I thought I'd hear those words uttered from your mouth. When you're done with that, mosey on back here for your prize. Then you could be on your merry way to Shibuyapalooza. That's it. You guys are ready to have some fun?
Come again?
I am certain we are. The objective seems simple enough to complete. You'd think so, wouldn't you? Well, hold on to your pants, because you're in for some big surprises. Huh? Kind of surprises. I told you it wouldn't be a surprise, silly. I will tell you this. The reason it's called the Reapers Romp. I know you're just dying to know why. But finding out on your own is half the fun. And that's pretty ominous, but we can handle whatever comes our way. We have to. For Shibuyapalooza! Count us in, all of us. Marvelous. Love your enthusiasm. Let me just get your group all signed up. Although now that I think about it, there's another player who's here all by his lonesome. Wouldn't mind letting him join your team, would you? Guess not. The more the merrier. Great. Let me go fetch him real quick. Hey, big fella. Found you a team so you don't have to play alone. Minamimoto. The name's Sho Minamimoto. I'm on nobody's team. You're on my team. Got it, Zeptograms? If you want to win this, you'll have to fight me for it. Yikes. Well, at least this character is still in character. Just to be clear, we don't have to fight anyone, right? Of course you do. Let me know if you want to swap out combat buddies. Only 6 team members are allowed to fight at once. Well, that's it for me. Good luck collecting those stamps. You're gonna have a blast, I just know it. I have a rather bad feeling about all this. Yeah, well, collecting these stamps is the only shot we've got at getting into Shibuyapalooza. So it's not like we have a choice. You know, I've said it a million times, but I am so sorry. But this is my chance to reclaim myself. I won't let you guys down. Again. I think you mean redeem yourself. Our fate rests not on your shoulders alone, Fretch. Our success hinges on our combined efforts. Yeah, go team. Yeah. You ain't getting much screen time. What the fuck? What's the youngins have their fun? That just gives us more time for Tin Pin Slammer. Absolutely, yeah. You're going down, phones. I feel like this day is very self-aware. Those two certainly have gotten themselves into tizzy. Hey, it's that game. The one that was super popular back in the day. It's only been 3 years, though. As long as they can pry themselves a way to help us fight. Well, let's get moving. And knock out those checkpoints. Oh, come on! She's alive! Or I guess in this timeline, she never died. You-hoo over here. You looking for little me? Damn. That depends. Is this where we get the stamp for the Reapers Romp? It sure is. Good job finding it. Now, before I stamp your cards, there's just one teensy little thing I want to talk to you about. It won't be long, promise.
Yeah.
We're all ears. Oh my, what a charmer. Well, you listen close, because I have a simply unbelievable deal for you today. Oh boy. What I have here is a collection of all the information you could ever need about Shibuya. Super Mega Ultimate Guide to Shibuya, Jumbo Ultra Reaper Edition. What the fuck? Armed with these 30 volumes, there'll be nothing stopping you from enjoying every nook and cranny of the city to the fullest. And you know, the ladies love a man who knows his way around. Uh-huh. Yeah, of course. I normally charge 3 million yen for all this. But I like you, so I'm willing to part with it for them for only 1 million. What a steal. Those prices are criminal. No worries if you can't pay it all up front. The whole collection could be yours for just 240 easy payments of 10,000 yen a month? 240? What? Did she just jack up the price? Did she just jack the price back up?
Heavens.
Lord Rindo, I advise we abstain from involving ourselves with this marketer any further. No kidding. Only complete moron would fall for this anyway. Too bad we have a complete moron in our party. I'll take it. What? Why, thank you. Be a dear and sign on this line for me, will you? Whoa! Brett, what are you doing? Don't let her play you like that. And think of your accounts. You mustn't be so eager to throw your money away, especially since you barely have any money to begin with. It's no use. He only has ears for her now. Only leaves us one thing to do. Imprint guidebook. No. Whoa. I don't want to buy this. Yes. Thank goodness we were able to return to his senses. Excuse me? No backing out now, bucko. You already signed for it. But don't be unreasonable. It isn't near too late to change your mind. I can't stand entitled customers like you. Let me guess. You want to talk to the manager. Hey, Susukichi, you're needed up front. Oh. Shit. Yikes. Well, why don't you tell our valued customers about our refund return policy? With your fists! He doesn't talk, he just growls. Here he comes.
I must needs weather this storm.
Okay, just obligatory boss fight, fuck. Whoa. I was not expecting to fight Susukichi. I wish I had some ice pins equipped.
Keep it together.
Oh no. We're fighting his noise form? What the fuck? This is not... This is not what I was expecting. How did we get here?
Yes, got it! Most spectacular. Return to the fray.
Dude, I almost lost that. Good thing I know his weakness. Susukichi. No. We very nearly got ourselves swindled. We, meaning Fred. What the heck happened? Oh no, she was just pretty and she started talking and then I was buying stuff. Never mind that. What about the stamp? Stamp? Oh, right. Let's see. I just had it a minute ago. Aha, here we are. You're all stamped and ready to go. Drop by again sometime, loves. Okay. I guess the situation just revolved itself. I'm about to say we won't. You just tried to sick. What is happening? Oh, Sugumi. Congratulations on making to the Reapers Romp checkpoint. Hand me your card and I'll go ahead and stamp it. Lady Sugumi? Lady Nagi? What a surprise. And a pleasant one at that. How long has it been since we last met? Christmas, was it? At Lord Ishimoto's special dinner show, if I recall.
Oh my.
Sounds about right. It really has been a while. And I haven't heard a peep from you the whole time. How have you been? I'm sure you are well aware of Lord Ishimoto's new solo album, Twister 2021, Fun in the Sun. Tell me, have you already purchased it?
Of course.
5 copies, so I could get all the different album covers. As I expected no less from you. I, for one, managed to acquire the full collection of exclusive bonus photographs that come with each purchase from Tower Records. 30 in all, depicting our beloved Ishimoto enjoying his private life away from the spotlight. Naturally, I have assembled them into an album for preservation and perusal. Are they rivals in this timeline? Well, then I followed him through his last tour. Come on, Japan, splish splash on the beach, Twister Fest. I bought all the t-shirts and towels closest to each venue. 10 each at every concert. Most impressive. This is very funny. Rindo, what's going on? Some kind of pissing contest about who's the bigger Ishimoto fan. Most of it's going way over my head. By the way, I feel silly even asking, but you are going to Shibuyapalooza, right? I mean, there's no way you'd miss Death March's big reunion. That's... Oh, don't tell me. It couldn't be that you don't have the tickets, and that's why you're playing this game. That would be unthinkable. So what if I haven't a ticket yet? There's no shame in earning one now. This is just too perfect. Sorry, but I won't be stamping your card today. What the fuck? Oh, the humanity. I think one of my comrades would hinder my path to Lord Ishimoto. You will stamp my card, and I will witness the glorious return of Death March. Not if I can help it. This is very petty of Sugumi to do, but whatever. Different timeline. Different personality. Awesome!
I mustn't give up. Not yet.
You win. Your love for Lord Ishimoto is too strong. Yours is formidable as well, Lady Sugumi. Here, take the stamp. Take it and go. Go, Lady Nagi. Fulfill your destiny. You have to see Death March. Our hearts will always be united in our love for Ishimoto. Farewell, my friend. Okay. No, Lady Sugumi. Lady Sugumi. Thank you. I shan't let your death happen in vain. Lord Rindo, much as it pains me, we must carry on. Sure thing. Let's get moving. Wait, she's not actually dead, is she? You get to the concert. It's going on. Today's a freaking doozy. I feel like Square Enix, or who, maybe Nomura was just like, you know what? I just feel like making something dumb and nonsensical today. It doesn't have to be serious, just something dumb and nonsensical. Can I just have that for once? You all are here for the romp, right? Of course you are. Just look at you. You're obviously starving for Shibuyapalooza tickets. I'm afraid I won't let you have them so easily. If you want your precious tickets, you'll have to go through... I know. You, Shoka? What are you doing here? Hey, you know each other? She's my sister. What are you doing here, Ayano? I'm working, clearly. I have to put food on the table. What about you? Shouldn't you be at Shibuyapalooza already? Yeah, I should, but somebody messed up our plans. More importantly, I know your whole aesthetic is really important to you, but... Stop stealing Iggy! You can't just let my iguana ride around on your shoulder when you go out. Oh, don't be selfish. It won't kill you to let me play with him every once in a while. Besides, he likes it. Don't you, Iggy? Yes, you do, you good boy. That's Iguana's name. Glad to know. I would have guessed Shoka had a pet iguana. Reptiles are surprisingly popular these days. Indeed. I myself am raising 10 snakes. What? 10? What is going on? That's enough. Just give us the stamp already. Or do you want to fight for it? No way, I'm passing up the bonus if I get to beat you. Prepare yourselves. Okay, so I guess in this timeline, Ayano and Shoko are sisters. I mean, they already kind of had a sort of sister relationship in the other timeline. I personally think it was more mother-daughter, but whatever.
Keep it together.
Shoka, my darling.
You're starting with this already? Oh my god, and you're going straight for Shoko. What the
You're
fuck?
mine now.
That's cold, lady. That is so cold. That is cold, lady. She went straight for Shoka immediately. Guess the love isn't as built up here in this timeline. I was just about to do the 300%, but then noticed how low her health was, and I'm like, nah, that might be overkill. No way. My bonus. How dare you? I knew I should have found another job. Stamp, now! That's 3 for 3. And make sure you put Iggy back in his tank. Fine. Here. Get out of my sight. I guess the love just is not as strong here. It's all the stamps. Let's head back to Hachiko and get our tickets.
Let's move.
Rhyme! Rhyme, what's wrong? Talk to me, yo. Who are you? Ugh, my head. Rhyme! We gotta help her. She's got all weird. Somebody do something. No, say no more. I will settle this matter with utmost haste.
Let's have a look.
My head's killing me. Looks like this isn't a dream at least.
Shall I proceed then?
You're not ready for this. Wow, got all the stamps. Great job, everybody. You're the first team to collect all 3. Really? Those seem odd, and I don't recall encountering any other participants in our way. As an extra reward, you can move on to the super special bonus round. If you win, you get not just tickets to Shibuyapalooza, but VIP tickets to Shibuyapalooza.
What?
Say what? Endless refreshments included, of course.
Whoa!
No way. Fresh fruit and drinks? Dude, yo Rindo, we gotta get these tickets. Damn right, we're in. Might as well, since we've already made it this far. Doki, let the bonus round begin. Yoo-hoo, Oshiba. He get lost on his way to the club?
Greetings.
People of Shibuya. I already don't like this guy. I'll be the one to decide if you're worthy of VIP seats, or if you deserve to be left out in the cold. On your marks, get set, go! Really wish I equipped some wooden
Guess I
pins.
could go a round or two.
Let's go! Managed to get through without using his weakness! Incredible! You won the bonus round! Here are your tickets to Shibuyapalooza. You've earned them. We did it! We're going to Shibuyapalooza! We go to the concert! We can see Death March and Lord Ishimoto! We did it! Well done. Here. These are your VIP passes. Truly, no one is more worthy of endless refreshments than you. Thank you. My god, I can't believe this is real. Shibuyapalooza, here we come. She's awfully cheerful all of a sudden. You mustn't be sour, Lord Rindo. Yeah, it all worked out in the end. Let him enjoy this. No use crying over spoiled milk and all that. It's not. Anyway, let's go live it up at Shibuyapalooza. Yeah, better hurry to 10-4. so crowded. Good thing we're VIPs, eh? Thanks for losing our tickets, Fred. We wouldn't be here without you. Aw, shucks, Shoki. All I had to do was mess everything up. Untrue. Although it did appear that way at the outset. Can we drop it already? It's all good now. Yeah, all that matters is that we finally made Shibuyapalooza. Yet we are one short of a full party. Has anyone seen Lord Minamoto? Oh, that's weird. It's weird. That's weird. Having her call him by his actual name. Now that you mentioned it, no, I haven't. Not for a while. Relax, I'm sure he just wandered off somewhere. Some people like to go to concerts alone, you know? Yes. Minamoto. Something so strange about it. It's almost like it came from a completely different dimension. No way that could happen.
Rindo.
Yo, Rindo. Get over here, man. The show's about to start. It's finally starting. Even if the world ends after this, I've got no regrets. This is the best day of my entire life. And that was another day. It's a very interesting day. Just clearly didn't take it so seriously at all. I guess it was more of like a laid-back chill day after all the stakes that was raised in this game. It's like, hey, you know what? Have a day where just nonsensical nonsense happens, just in a different timeline. And, have fun. But there were some things in that day that, went unresolved. Like, I killed a couple of pig noise off screen. And, I know there's a secret ending afterwards where, if you have all the secret report, you get a little extra scene that could possibly foreshadow different events coming up. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I'm gonna do my best to try and do that before, I'm recording this, like, before the final episode has been released. And hopefully I'll be able to do that by that time, because, there's one last dive mission. And it involves Rhyme, and it's like at like level 80, but I'm like level 69. So that, yeah, I don't feel too confident doing that. I'll try it off screen. If it works out, that's cool. I just want to read off the secret reports is all, and get the secret ending. That way I can chill that off. But yeah, this day was actually pretty fun. I like how in this timeline, Sugumi and Nagi are actually close friends, or at least they know each other, and they're like Death March fanatics, or I guess Ishimoto fanatics. I like how things aren't too different in this timeline, like everybody's still friends with each other. It's just, you know, things are different, and they probably never experienced a Reaper game, who knows. But yeah, I still have a lot of questions that will probably be answered in the secret ending. Again, I have no idea. But this most definitely going to be the last part of the world review. Neo the World Ends With You, at least. Like I said before, I enjoyed this game greatly. I thought it was very fun. This extra day was also very hilarious. And I hope we see more in the future. I mean, like I've already said this shit in the original credits. This is just like another fun credit sequence just showing, hey, we made the game, we made this extra day. We didn't have to, but you know, it was fun, we wanted to do it, and I appreciate that. I really appreciate these devs for making this game, making this extra day. Hopefully we'll get another World Ends With You game in the future. I don't know. I would like to. I like these characters, I like this art style of this game. Maybe we'll get it with a crossover with Kingdom Hearts 4, who knows? I mean, Sora's in Quadratum, which looks like Shibuya, and let's be real, Nomura has never really been flat out, like, accurate with characters' backstories. from other games. Like the characters in Final Fantasy's backstories clearly don't match up with the backstories in the actual legit game. So you know what could happen? We could have Neku show up with Sora again in Quadratum, aka Shibuya. You know, with freaking Jizora too. Let's have the whole cast showing. It'd be nice to see how Rindo and Sora interact. Yeah, aside from that, man, I'm not looking forward to that dive mission. I really think it's gonna be a test of will, because it could be like super long. It could be like insanely long. But I'm gonna try and attempt it. I'm gonna try and do it. I want to see the secret ending. It's probably gonna be like something like not too spectacular either, but it'll be something at least, you know. But yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to wait for these credits to end, and I don't know, I'll probably cut after these have ended, or I don't know. We'll see. I definitely want to include the secret ending in this video. But there you go. Once again, appreciate whoever stuck around for this playthrough. I hope you enjoyed it. I tried my best not to make these videos too long. Like, I cut out a lot of fluff, but these characters talk a lot, and I don't want to, you know, I don't want to like cut out any type of information that would be important later on to add to the story. Because there are some conversations that we cut out before, and it was like, okay, that conversation wasn't too important, I can cut that out. And then they have an entire spiel of like, oh, okay, this is important, so I gotta leave this in. And then the video ends up being like almost an hour long, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I know people don't have time for that shit, but this is a long game, so cut me some slack. But yeah, I really do appreciate anybody that stuck around or watched this playthrough. Appreciate it. Is that it? I think that's it. Yep. Party in the booyah!
3 days later.
Okay, I just finished the final dive mission, which was Rhyme, and it involved 10 whole fucking productions. 10 massive fights, nothing but just straight up walloping on noise endlessly. And I managed to get a gold rank on it. That was like the final reward I needed. Is that all a dream? Beat! Rhyme, how you feeling? You hurt anywhere?
Beat!
I'm fine. Nothing to worry about. But what happened? It was this black thing that attacked me and then...
The show!
Who cares? You're alright. That's all I need to know. Some manner of malevolent force must have possessed her. What could it be? Some kind of black thing. Rindo, if we don't hurry, Shibuyapalooza is gonna start without us. Right, we gotta get our tickets. Scattered all the way out here, huh? These numbers are all over the place. Oh my god, we did it. We did it. This should be the last point. There it is, baby. Yes! Alright.
Think this through.
All the reports are finally here, which means I can finally read them out. I'm wondering to do the good music though. Three years have passed since the game that caught the attention of the higher plane. Observation is still ongoing. But from the UG. It looks as if Shibuya is on the brink of catastrophe. Three years have passed since the game that caught the attention of the higher plane. Observation is still ongoing. From the UG, it looks as if Shibuya is on the brink of catastrophe once more. I am forbidden from intervening in the game this time, so so I'll have to settle for recording the changing state of both the RG and UG here in this report. The Executor first intruded on Shibuya 3 years ago, originally from Shinjuku. This angel started a clandestine game with Shibuya's composer, which ultimately led to Shinjuku's destruction. He should have been reprimanded as soon as he arrived in Shibuya, but the elites are turning a blind eye for some reason. Possibly because most higher plane denizens still oppose Shibuya's impurification. This game resembles said impurification in that it is subject to a set of accentuating circumstances, somehow keeping it in balance, which are as follows. 1. Difference of opinion and subsequent conflict on the subject of Shibuya's destruction. 2. The absence of the composer. 3. The game being played by 2 proxies. And 4. Direct interference by the Executor. Neither the Executor, who wishes for Shibuya to be destroyed and purified, nor the composer, who has managed to prevent this up until now, can directly intervene in the going-ons of the UG. If they wish to take action, they must do via a proxy. The Executor's proxy in this game is the conductor, Shibuyapalooza. The composer's is a human player, one Rindo Kanade. So, yeah, that's right, Joshua was the one that chose Rindo. I will henceforth refer to Shibuyapalooza as the conductor, and Rindo Kanade as the proxy. Perhaps spurred by the appearance of the proxy, former Reaper Minamoto has resumed activity after an extended period of silence. Furthermore, I'm picking up vibes similar to those emitting from Shinjuku just before its purification. They are still faint, but I will keep a close eye on them. That was secret portal number 1. With a proxy in place of an acting composer, the game is affected in numerous ways, the most significant being an implementation of bogus rules by the conductor. One such rule is the division of players into teams, presumably adopted from Shinjuku's rulebook. Under the team system, whichever team earns the most points over the course of the week may choose to either continue playing or not. If they choose not to continue, they may return to the RG if they so desire. However, only the composer can send players back to the RG. The conductor has no right to implement such a rule, and no ability to carry it out. As such, it is in the conductor's best interest for the winning team to choose to continue playing. To assure this will happen, he has allied himself with a team clearly intent on continuing the game indefinitely, the Ruinbringers. Each team's relative value is measured against the others, using their scores, and a loss for the team is a loss for each individual within it. It is unclear when these rules were first implemented in Shinjuku. What is clear is that they seem specifically designed to eliminate players, counter to the objective of the game. A new player has joined the proxy's team. The inability of the composers and myself, producer, to intervene puts Shibuya at a disadvantage. But this new recruit and Minamoto may help turn the tides. The team's new member, one Nagi Usui, is at once open-minded and closed off. Interestingly, this makes her the perfect foil to Tosai Furusawa. Healthy variety of personalities and abilities should benefit their team. The proxy has started using its powers in earnest. I can scarcely believe someone who could have such a powerful latent ability. Latent powers are unique, naturally occurring abilities awakened by tuning vibes. These vibes originate from the higher plane and resonate with the soul of an individual, tuning them into their dormant powers. Incidentally, God, I cannot read. These vibes are the same ones required for travel between planes. It is highly unusual for multiple players with latent powers to appear in succession. I suspect the pins found in the RG have been imbued with tuning vibes for the express purpose of seeking out such individuals. The more hands the pins make their way into, the greater the chance of finding promising new players. However, the proxy's ability is a significant deviation from standard latent powers. It is far too dangerous. If I could, I would have ensured it remained dormant. For the sake of both the UG and the RG, it has the potential to not only warp but demolish the lower plane's code. I wonder if the composer saw this and chose his proxy because of it. And if that's the case, then Joshua had to have known about that beforehand. So what exactly is the purpose of the Reapers game? Let us review. The explicit goal of the game is to locate exceptional individuals. Players of superior imagination are elevated to the higher plane and made into Reapers or Angels to aid in the oversight of their region. The UG is located on a higher plane than the RG. It is understood to be the afterlife, as the soul is modulated and relocated to the UG upon the death of the body in the RG. However, the proxy and his fellows were brought to the UG unmodulated. They have already begun to suspect that something is amiss in respect to both themselves and the Runebringers. Reapers should be fighting for their lives same as the players, but Shibuya's eternal Reaper hierarchy is at a total standstill. 3 years ago, Shibuya's acting composer and conductor carried out a game to determine Shibuya's fate. The events that unfolded are now known as Shibuya's impurification. The hierarchical freeze presumably stems from opposition to the impurification. I detected a new set of vibes in the UG at the end of the day. It seems those pins have awakened new powers within someone and modulated them for entry into the UG just like the proxy. This time, it is someone the composer and I know quite well. A turf war called the Scramble Slam has taken place. Runebringers declined to participate. If they had, they surely would have won, leading to a decrease in overall morale. I suspect this little diversion, which pits players against each other in place of noise, exists purely for the entertainment of the conductor. This week marks the 104th game under the current conductor. Deeper for Society, the Very Beauties, and the Pure Hearts have all been subject to at least 30 loops. Oh my god. Oh my god, 30 loops? They are beginning to show signs of fatigue, presumably sensing the impossibility of victory against the Runebringers. Perceiving the game as unwinnable has a marked negative effect on players' well-being. Proxy's team may be able to avoid coming into last place, but the odds of them toppling the Runebringers to claim victory are slim, although anything can happen in this game. They may surprise me yet. Namimoto has become aware of the Proxy's power. It seems to be plotting something. Proxy's soul is beginning to change. Strangely, its evolution trends towards stagnation rather than development. It is almost as if the range of its vibes is shrinking. I believe this may be due in part to his readiness to adopt the opinions and values of others, mistakenly believing them to be his own. He seems to do this entirely unconsciously. He may never realize it is happening. Under ordinary circumstances, players in Shibuya's game pay an entry fee upon arrival, though which the composer offers them a chance to re-examine themselves. This game has no entry. Shinjuku rules neither encourage nor allow for personal growth of change, making the game just that, a mere competition to collect points to prove one's worth. The Proxy's stagnant soul makes him the perfect user for his latent ability. Better or for worse, he is able to maintain abnormally high levels of imagination, thereby increasing the accuracy of each replay. Pieces fit together almost too perfectly. You can only hope I'm overthinking it. The Deep River Society has been erased in accordance with the rules of the game. The souls of all members, including the leader, are gone. Their erasure runs counter to the goal of judging each player's abilities, which is unsurprising considering the conductor's intentions. Upon witnessing the erasure, Proxy's vibes have weakened once again. His increasingly hardened emotional state may be cause for concern. As suspected, the individual who arrived in the Proxy's moment of need was the source of the vibes I had detected a few days ago. It does not appear as if the composer had a hand in the sudden appearance of our old friend. In sharp contrast to the ever-active executor, the composer is seemingly biding his time. Although I am unable to make contact to confirm, I believe the reappearance of this particular individual works in Shibuya's favor. Inamimoto, on the other hand, has all but vanished from the Proxy's side. His noise refinery sigil drastically heightens his imagination, which may be why he can clearly recognize the Proxy's abilities. I have an idea of what he's planning. It's dangerous. I have no way of stopping it. Incidentally, the noise refiner residual is a reproduction copied from its original by a certain Reaper. Its completeness, or lack thereof, may be a factor in the subtle change in Minamimoto's fundamental vibes. 4 teams remain: the Rumringers, the Pure Hearts, the Very Beauties, and the Wicked Twisters. Only one may survive and emerge victorious. At long last, the game approaches its conclusion. According to Shinjuku's rules, incoming players' abilities must exceed the total average imagination of the current players for them to be allowed into the game. As the game continues and lower-ranking teams are eliminated, the average rises, making it more and more difficult for newcomers to enter. With the Deep River Society gone and the Wicked Twister's impressive latent abilities, the average imagination has increased dramatically. Only an immensely powerful player can be pulled into this point. It can be safely assumed that the game will continue and conclude with no more player than the current set of players. The game will continue into the week after next at longest, but the conductor has yet to contact the composer. It's possible he is unaware of the Higher Planes Purification Protocol. If all goes according to the conductor's plan, he himself will be the victor of this game. Our new arrival has joined the Proxy's team, almost as if filling the hole left by Minamimoto. Dasukune Nojo Bito, also known as Beat, was a player in the game leading to Shibuya's impurification. His fortitude is remarkable, as his soul and imagination. He should prove a powerful ally to the Proxy, and yet the Proxy's soul remains stagnant. Perhaps it would be more accurate to say it has stagnated further. It felt a similar shift 8 days ago when Minamimoto joined the team. If this is the fundamental impurity of the Proxy's soul, it would be difficult to bring to light, unlike Neko's leading up to the impurification. Proxy initiated another replay today. The resulting drastic increase in planar distortion indicates that at this rate, an explosive increase is likely after only a few more uses. However, the Proxy's pin is effectively absorbing the distortions, preventing the UG and lower planes from being affected at this time. All of the Reaper stations in Shibuya, including the conductor, would ordinarily be referred to as Shibuya River. But ongoing conflict has caused those from Shinjuku to be called Shinjuku Reapers. Shinjuku's inversion 3 years ago jump-started its purification, forcing the Reapers there to flee to Shibuya. An inversion happens when the boundary between the UG and the RG is destroyed, forcing a purification. Occurs, albeit incredibly rarely, when the composer and conductor fail to agree on the purification. The composer's permission is not required for a Reaper to continue working in a new area. Such transfers are left up to the conductor. In this case, Shibuya's temporary conductor at the time authorized the transfer of all Reapers from Shinjuku to Shibuya. I detect no sign nor vibes of the Shinjuku conductor at present. I assume he was destroyed along with Shinjuku. Once a purification has begun, it is standard for the conductor to be invited up to the higher plane. There is almost no evidence of a mass personal transfer after the erasure of the conductor in the past. Upon reviewing the records, I managed to find 4 cases where the affected area had fallen into imbalance before its purification was decided. One of those cases is Shibuya's impurification. The composer should file a report on the circumstances leading up to Shinjuku's purification at some point, although I doubt he'll do a thorough job of it, considering his disinterest in the lower planes. With Shibuya's composer giving his tacit approval to the Shinjuku Reapers, Shibuya's Reapers have no choice but to follow the rules given to them. Regardless of the true circumstances, Shiba Miyakaze has effectively become the conductor through legal means, as he was judged to be fit for the role. Restlessness builds among the team leaders, and the Proxy's psychological state is far from optimal. I can only hope we will last a week. The team's base groove is abnormally low. In a system built around teamwork, such irregularities are certain to have a major effect on the outcome of the game. A network called the RNS was created specifically for this game. The ease with which it measures each individual's vibes and imagination makes it as a useful tool for the management of both players and Reapers. However, making this information viewable also makes it accessible from the RG. it can only be found by those who know the Yuji's existence are sufficiently proficient with networks. No modulation is required to communicate between planes this way, though it is yet unclear if other issues arise as a result. It's possible that communicating through the network could inhibit imagination, just as the full meaning and imagination of a work of art cannot be captured on screen. I'm no longer active as Cat. But if and when I resume, I must keep in mind how my works will be perceived when shared digitally, and alter my methods of expression accordingly. Perhaps the developer of the RNS could provide me with some insight in that regard. So this is Mr. Hanakoma writing all of it. There's been a change in the proxy's psychological state as well as an improvement to relations between the members of his team. This is good news. However, the proxy's soul remains stagnant as ever. I have yet to fully analyze the stagnation, as I am currently unable to take any action beyond observing and hoping for the best. By Shinjuku's rules, Reapers are limited in the actions they may take. Of course, obstructing players is not allowed on a base level. The primary enemies that players face are other players, namely those on opposing teams. Thus, any team aiming for the top must go through the Ruin Ring. The proxy and his team are taking a different approach against seemingly unbeatable Ruin Ringers. To what extent it goes against the rules of the game remains to be seen. I doubt the conductor will sit idly by and let them do as they please. If he is forced to make a move, things will either end very well or very poorly. As previously stated, Reapers are not allowed to interfere in the game, and yet, one of them is currently doing just that. It's possible that her Reaper status will be stripped from her. Where will that leave her once the game is over? The leader of the Pure Hearts, one Motoi Anazawa, has gotten himself into a dire predicament. While alive and online, he found himself a loyal follower in the proxy. Motoi Anazawa is to face erasure. It will likely have a significant effect on the proxy, though to what extent remains to be seen. Online communication can result in negative or positive outcomes, just the same as face-to-face communication. However, opacity and anonymity, there we go, accompanying digital communication leaves participants more susceptible to misunderstanding. It must have been quite a shock for the proxy to see Motoi Anazawa's true nature, which was invisible to him online. As predicted, Shoka Sakurane has been demoted from Reaper to player, as punishment for meddling in the game and directly assisting players. Reapers face very few restrictions on the RNS. They may interact with the RG freely so long as they do not reveal their identities, but should they be demoted, their account is deleted and a separate player account takes its place. With her old account deactivated, Shoka Sakurane is no longer able to interact with the proxy as his online friend, unless she chooses to reveal herself as such. She has aided the proxy via messaging up to now. With that option no longer available to her, the next course of action is unclear. The conductor has made his intentions known to the players, although it would be impossible for him to carry out his goal of destroying Shibuya merely as the conductor. He believes himself to be the executor as well, sent from the higher plane to purify the city. The Pure Hearts have been erased, as expected. Only two teams remain, scouting the Ruin Ring. With the Ruin Bringer's true nature revealed, it is likely that the rules will change next game to reflect that the players stand to oppose the Reapers rather than each other. I have detected unique vibes emanating from a certain inanimate object. Found it odd that the old stuffed animal should show up, but as it turns out, it is temporarily housing a distorted soul. Shinjuku's conductor saved the soul it contains, paying the price with its own erasure. Wait, Shinjuku's conductor? Huh. An angel's power is needed to free the captive soul. There is still no sign of the composer. I am forbidden from meddling in the game. I doubt the executor would be willing to help, considering he must most likely trapped it there to begin with. Our only available options are to leave the soul imprisoned or locate someone else with the means to release it. I suspect the original creator of the stuffed animal, a player who managed to return to the RG 3 years ago, will be able to assist. Unfortunately, she is currently absent from Shibuya. The game's rules have changed significantly. Players as well as Reapers or even the conductor may erase their opponents after defeating them. At the same time the rules changed, Shiba made an unforeseen move against Shibuya. An inversion is underway. The noise released by the conductor have destabilized the code of the entire Shibuya region. The lower planes, including the UG and RG, are particularly unsteady. The code is a set of laws that binds together the souls that make up all existence. Think of it as the screws which hold everything together. Some of Shibuya's screws are loose, and others have been removed altogether, leaving nothing to support the city but its own weight. In other words, Shibuya is on the brink of collapse. The deterioration of the boundary between the RG and the UG is being hastened by rapidly multiplying noise. If the boundary is lost, the city will be torn apart and purified. There are many in the higher plane who believe normal purification has no meaning, as it maintains the existing planar framework. However, it is generally agreed that inversion should not be utilized due to the loss of the character the affected area undergoes as its framework is destroyed and rebuilt. And yet the composer maintains his silence as Shibuya faces the same fate as Shinjuku before it. Yeah, seriously, what the fuck, Joshua? While Shibuya has undergone dramatic changes, the proxy's psychological state is surprisingly stable. This could be interpreted as positive personal growth, as he has come to understand the situation has been placed in, as well as what actions to take in response. Ryoka Sakurane has joined the proxy's team. Extraordinary power should make her a fine addition. One of the Shinjuku Reapers has been eliminated. A suspect the conductor saw this coming. Angels emit vibes strong enough to alter the mind of those in the lower planes. Reportedly, many Shinjuku Reapers have sensed a change in Shibuyapalooza's personality over time. I wonder how he will feel about all this after the executor leaves and allows him to return to his former self. Proxy has now used the replay ability 8 times, his pin absorbing the resulting planar distortion and changing appearance with each use. At present, there are no apparent adverse effects. I am concerned about the physical changes to the proxy's pin. They may indicate some kind of fundamental difference from the other pins. Perhaps replay isn't a latent ability at all. It is far too powerful, but make much more sense as a gift bestowed upon the proxy via the pin. The player pins were almost certainly made by the executor. As an angel, he will be able to prepare special pins at will. It is unclear when and how the proxy acquired his pin. Logically, it must have been on the day he arrived in the UG. All I know for certain is that several factors influencing the proxy's fate were in play that day. In any case, to give him such a pin knowing he is the composer's proxy would be either incredibly brave or incredibly insolent. Fairy booties have been erased. This is a major blow to the proxy's team, as Kana and Tachibana provided them with vital emotional support. Though Saifurasara's soul is clearly the most heavily affected, despite his fundamental evasiveness and unwillingness to show his true feelings. One's experience leads one to hold a certain belief. It is difficult to alter that mindset. It often leads to bitterness and anguish. I wonder just how much of his bitterness Saifurasara will be able to bear facing. The answer may very well depend on the proxy and his teammates. Still, this is no time for idle talk. The proxy's team is the only one left. The conductor is oddly fixated on the team's unstable state. Goes so far as to say he seems more concerned with his enemies than the battle itself. As events unfold, it is not unthinkable that he might join forces with the proxy. The conductor's plans lay bare. Every Reaper, particularly the Shibuya Reapers, will be forced to choose a side. Some of them who know what I am occasionally try to contact me, but I cannot respond. Shibuya Reapers will need to grow and adapt if they are to overcome this. My old cafe on Cat Street, the one that served as my base 3 years ago, is always open to them. I hear that some drop by on occasion. Notably, the faint vibes I felt from Shinjuku have returned to their full former strength. Someone is coming. Someone who can help decide Shibuya's fate. Neku Sakuraba has returned to Shibuya, as I suspected. The vibes I picked up 17 days ago were his. Being the last team standing has provided the Wicked Twisters with a sense of unity. Daisuke Dojo Bito appears to believe it as his sole responsibility to carry the team. I can't say he was wrong in his actions toward Minamimoto. The fact remains that he most likely would have been erased by the ex-Reaper had Neku not arrived. The team has narrowly avoided disaster. Let's hope they can carry on that momentum. Minamimoto's focus was purely on the planar distortion when he turned half noise and went berserk. He may not be able to clearly measure the distortions from the Yuji. That he can sense them at all is an impressive feat. I suspect he is also becoming aware of the distortions within himself, along with the fact that these distortions should be undetectable from the Yuji. Minamimoto seems to have come to the same conclusion I have. Replay is too powerful in ability to be wielded by one of the lower planes. I am beginning to piece together the Executor's plan. One more thing that concerns me is the Proxy's soul. Its stagnation has returned in full force just when it seemed it might finally fade away. There must be some cause for this. Be it the Proxy's fear of Minamimoto or uncertainty surrounding his own interaction with Neku. Neku Sakuraba has joined with its proxy. The composer has sent him from Shibuya into Shinjuku during its purification, presumably to have him handle the situation there to keep him isolated and safe from those who would target him for his abilities. As for the proxy, his soul remains stagnant. I have yet to identify what exactly is preventing its growth. This would be much simpler if I could sit down and talk with him. After repeated demands, I have finally obtained the report on Shinjuku's purification. On the surface, the game involved conflict between the conductor and the Reapers. In actuality, the composer, eager to purify Shinjuku, led the executor amongst the Reapers to oppose and take down the conductor. This explains why the conductor was erased and the Reapers transferred to a new area. Tsugumi Matsunae had her suspicions about the executor. We sealed her soul away to be safe. She was once a Reaper, though the executor removed her status after she allied herself with her older brother, Shinjuku's conductor. So, Tsugumi was the sibling of Shinjuku's conductor, Shinjuku's old conductor, or Shiba. In Shinjuku, to lose your Reaper status is to be erased. Knowing he was defeated, Shinjuku's conductor used the last of his strength to save his sister's soul in a stuffed animal. That stuffed animal belonged to one Shiki Misaki. Shibuya Reaper must have taken it to Shinjuku. As a result, Tsugumi Matsunae became the lone survivor of Shinjuku's purification. Once more a Reaper, but sealed away and closely monitored by the executor. She acted through no will of her own, as her soul was trapped by noise. However, she was still able to send messages to the proxy using her latent trailer ability. The noise binding her is now gone. If the damage to her plus vessel can be fixed, her soul will be free. The Shibuya River is known to be a unique place, even amongst the entities of the higher plane. Its source is in Shinjuku, meaning it should have disappeared in the purification, and yet it continues to flow unseen in its own plane. An excellent idea to hide souls there to spare them from purification. Haichi Suzuki loved the game and cared for his compatriots more than any of the other Shinjuku Reapers. His actions leave no room for doubt. Most of the Shinjuku Reapers maintained the close bonds they shared back in Shinjuku. I know not what kind of Reaper Shiba Miyakaze was before being warped by the executor. Judging by the Shinjuku Reapers' unflinching devotion to him, he must have been exceptionally charismatic. It is yet unknown if Shiba Miyakaze will be released from the executor's influence at the end of the game. Even if he does manage to return to his former self, he will be forced to face the tragic reality that the loss of his friends was brought upon by his own actions. Neku Sakuraba is wary of the proxy's power. The pin continues to endlessly absorb the generated distortions. Absorb but not destroy. They are likely being stored for some purpose. I wonder what the composer thinks of all this. There is still no sign of movement from him. Does he have a plan at all? Tomorrow will tell. The planar distortions caused by the replay were all a part of the executor's plan to purify Shibuya. The condition of the proxy and his comrades had taken a sudden turn for the worst. The ability to turn the distorted energy into noise is entirely unique. It is likely latent to the executor, either allowing him to create noise or granting him some comparable power. In essence, the distortions were once souls. They manifest from the thoughts and lost time of those whose timelines were cut off from canonical history. The proxy's pin stores the distortions born from each abandoned timeline, causing them to behave similarly to their source thoughts and birth new distortions. In other words, the pin allows the distortions to grow and multiply with each journey back in time. The birds the proxy saw are new distortions spawned from those stored in the pin, given an order compliant and readily storable form. Generally, souls need a catalyst in order to take form. The executor's pin must be the catalyst in this case, generating the noise in advance, and transplanting the distortion's imagination into them. The executor is exceptionally adept at handling the noise. There's a strong possibility that the noise's present bird form is temporary and will change at some point. Its shape is undefined and constantly changing. The proxy and his team have a tough battle ahead of them. Shibuya is in grave danger. Shibuya has received a new visitor, one that even the composer must not have expected. It's the very same individual who drew up the report on Shinjuku's inversion. But why would he come to Shibuya? Probably not to take care of the executor. Whatever business he may have, Tanzakubo can wait until after the purification. It seems that Shinjuku's composer, one Hazuki Mikage, has eliminated the executor's noise and given the proxy another chance. I have an idea as to why. Shibuya's composer must be shaking his head right now. I have finally determined what was causing the proxy's soul to stagnate. His fear of taking responsibility. When reliable allies such as Minamoto, Tasuku no Nojobito, and Naku Sakuraba appeared and took their reins, the relief of being freed from responsibility stilled the proxy's mind. Ironic that it was the famously unsympathetic composer of Shinjuku that led me to this conclusion. Shibuya now owes its continued existence to the proxy's use of replay to undo its destruction. It is up to the proxy to decide whether or not to turn back time. He undeniably has the right. Shibuya has withstood destruction, and now stands to face an even greater danger. The challenge before us is one we cannot refuse. The proxy's team faced a giant bird-shaped noise, which was born from the unstable black bird noise, which were destroyed to the order level and reassembled. This is a clear act of interference from Shinjuku's composer. It allowed the proxy and his team to focus all their efforts on one target. Each feather on the phoenix's tail is the karmic representation of a single temporal reversal. Perhaps this is a manifestation of Shinjuku's composer's internal conflict. He has clearly taken an interest in the proxy and his teammates, yet his desire to see Shibuya purified is unchanged. I believe that his interference, dealing with the executor, contacting the proxy, and meddling with the distortions, was more than a simple apology to Shibuya. It provided the perfect excuse for Shibuya's composer to make a direct move of his own. However, Shibuya's composer failed to take the bait, remaining inactive to the very end. What the fuck, Joshua? Seriously. I mean, yeah, you can't interfere, but this angel is from a different area and is messing with your town, man. And it was like, nah, I'm gonna let this play out. Let's see how this goes. His reason for appearing to Neko Sakuraba and the others to connect to Shibuya's imagination was not to help them, but merely to stabilize Neko Sakuraba's mind by reminding him he was there. A look over the vibes recorded by the RNS reveals no evidence of any outside interference. Proxy's team defeated the Phoenix Cantus through their own and Shibuya's strength. Now that the game is over, I finally have permission to contact the composer. Several days have passed since then, and the composer has already completed 2 orders of business. One of them concerns Neku Sakuraba. Using a sample from a parallel world, one where Neku never went to Shinjuku, and instead lived peacefully in the RG for 3 years. The composer modified the space and memories around Neku, so that he may once again reside in the RG without issue. This is not particularly unusual. as the same steps must have taken when returning a Reaper to the RG. The other order of business concerned Shoko Sakurane. Reaper status lost. Destruction at the end of the game was all but assured. However, the composer saved her soul at the precise moment it diffused for deletion. She has been reborn in the RG in Shibuya. I believe this is a rare expression of gratitude on the composer's part. Gratitude toward the proxy, that is. Proxy has also returned safely to his life in the RG. Through him, I have learned much about the network as a simulated plane of existence, as well as its effects on the human emotion. There is no denying its use as a tool to expand one's world. However, it is up to the user to explore and experience that expanded world for themselves, lest it remain a mere simulation. Enjoy the present and keep moving forward. Perhaps by refusing to interfere, the composer meant to convey to Shibuya the importance of accepting their circumstances and taking action yourself. I have one final note, directed at the proxy, Rindo Kanade. The decision you made took courage, and I thank you for it. I sincerely hope we can meet in person someday. Man. Alright, that was a load of information that I already kind of knew and stuff I didn't know. Like Shinjuku's conductor was Tsugumi's brother. And I knew it. Haz was Shinjuku's composer. That's very interesting information. But still one last thing we need to do. The secret ending that needs to be done here. Now that I've got all the secret reports, I should be able to see it. Oh yeah, by the way, there's also a secret boss fight. With the man, the myth himself. I don't expect to beat this, I just want to show it off. Two Minami Motos? What? How? What the hell's going on? I finally found you. Never thought you'd be the one to force our lines to intersect. We're collinear. We've always been on the same line.
Come again?
Two are one and the same? Huh? I didn't know Mr. Minami had a twin. What's up with the matching outfits? It's too weird. Your harmonic progression stops here. Crunch! Listen up, Zeptograms. This guy's a non-trivial opponent. Think you can handle it? Not really, but I'll try. I get the feeling we don't have a choice. Then let's get this experiment started.
I must needs weather this storm.
But yeah, secret boss fight, Minamimoto. He's harder now, and I think he starts off in armor. Ooh.
Think we bit off more than we can.
Yeah, he starts off in armor. Your numbers up. And I'll probably do this boss fight on my own time.
Let's keep it up.
Not bad.
Hey, no, stop now.
Like he hits hard. I know it's hard. It's like the equivalent of having like Sephiroth or oh my god. As a final boss, yeah.
A bit late to come groveling back, wouldn't you say, friend?
My apologies, friend. I never intended Shibuya any harm. But rest assured that as Shinjuku's composer, I have personally eliminated the cause of the problem. Is that enough to earn your forgiveness?
I appreciate you exercising the executor from the UG. But you really ought to be more scrupulous when engaging with the lower planes. Nobody likes a messmaker.
And all this time, I thought I was following in your footsteps.
Then you might need to watch where you're walking. Speaking of which, I saw you took a stroll around the city. Did you and Rindo have an illuminating conversation?
Weren't you watching?
Only a little.
I offered him an apology and asked him a few questions.
What about?
I thought he might understand why you opposed Shibuya's cleansing, so I asked what he thought about the city, hoping to glean some insight.
Another mess finally made. And? Was it insightful?
Not to the extent I would have liked. I still don't understand. Humans are the most irrational beings. That said, I was a bit surprised myself with how our conversation ended. For some reason, the boy was ready to risk everything for an unproven possibility. And all I could do was remind him to take responsibility for whatever decision he made. Almost as if I were encouraging him to take that risk.
Sounds like you acted a bit irrationally yourself.
I did indeed. Even entrusted him with that powerful pin, if you can believe it.
Well, you aren't alone. I too have fallen victim to that irrationality before.
Why do you think that is?
I can't say for sure, but one thing I've noticed is that every time I watch them try to overcome the absurdity of their world, I just can't help but hope they succeed.